Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Rebecca. Today I am in the kitchen and I am making up some really simple DIY natural cleaners that you can use in your home instead of the harsh chemicals that probably most of you are using. So for a while now I have been trying to get rid of the harsh chemicals that we use in our home for cleaning and washing laundry and using a more natural solution instead. So that can be really overwhelming if you think about all of the products that you use in your home. So it's been a slow thing for me. I actually started with natural deodorant. I still use it. I love it. It works great. I don't know that I'll ever go back to like a store-bought deodorant. I like the one that I make myself, and it's really easy to make. In addition to that, I also have started making my own laundry detergent and my own fabric softener, and I have also made an all-natural like dishwasher soap. I think that's all that I've made. But today I want to make 3 more cleaners that are going to be either for the toilet, an all-purpose cleaner, and then a window cleaner, just to get rid of all of the things in our home that can be harmful to you and your family and your pets too. It doesn't take a whole lot of work. These are all things that you can buy at the grocery store. So let's get started. I will tell you, I'm going to be making a toilet bomb. So it's like a bath bomb, but it's a toilet bomb. It's a little cleaner that you can throw right in your toilet, and it like fizzes up like a bath bomb does and cleans the toilet, cleans and deodorizes. Well, I made one yesterday and it was a complete and epic failure. It did not go well. I had 2 different recipes. I'm gonna use the other recipe today, and I'm fingers crossed that one goes better, but it was a complete failure. Didn't work. I did end up, I guess it wasn't a total loss, because some of the ingredients that you use for like a drain unclogger and a drain cleaner were in the bath, or not the bath bomb, in the toilet bomb. So I ended up using it in one of the sinks upstairs in my kids' bathroom because they are having an issue with draining their sink right now. So it wasn't a complete loss, but it definitely was not what I planned. So let me show you what we do to make the toilet bombs first, and I guarantee you that I will say bath bombs 100 times in this video in place of toilet bombs, because that's just what everybody is used to hearing. So my apologies in advance. All you need to make the toilet bomb is baking soda, citric acid, some water, some essential oils, and then a silicone liner. I actually happened to just find this one the other day. I planned on using something different, but I found this one and thought it would be the perfect size for these. So really simple ingredients. I actually already had all these ingredients at home, but if you don't have a big thing of citric acid like I do, they do sell other ones like right in the grocery store where you do your where you can get your canning supplies. Alright, so I'm going to try this again. Fingers crossed it works this time. If it doesn't, I just don't know what else to do. I guess just use a different sort of toilet cleaner. But you're going to start with 1 1/3 cups of baking soda, which is a lot of baking soda. The last recipe did not call for that much. I'm just going to measure this out, and then you're going to put it right into a bag. I find is going to be the easiest way to mix it up. But if you wanted to just put it in a bowl and use like a spatula to mix it up, you could do that too. Alright, so 1 1/3 cups of baking soda. Then you're going to do 1/2 cup of citric acid. The other recipe that I used called for baking soda and citric acid, but it also called for borax too. But I just don't know. I don't know what I did wrong. I don't know if I ended up adding too much water or what, because it was just a disaster. Or like both of the recipes say, there's a really loud airplane behind me. I don't know if you can hear that. Both of the recipes say to use like a little spritz or spray bottle. Well, I don't have a little spritz or spray bottle, and you're using so little water that if I used a big one, it just wouldn't work. So I am going to add it in slowly. So what I'm doing is just mixing up the ingredients in my bag, and then you want to add about 30 drops of essential oils. You can use whatever kind of oils you want. I am going to be using a tea tree oil, and then I also have a lemongrass oil that I'm going to be using. So I'm just going to put about 15 drops of each in here. This does smell really good. Like I said, you can use whatever kind you want. This is just the kind that I am choosing to go with today. And then what you're going to do after that is add in about a teaspoon of water. And you want to make sure that you don't add too much. I think that's what my problem was before. I think that I just put too much water in and it made the reaction of the baking soda too much, and it was not good. So before I mix in my water, I'm going to just mix in those essential oils. So when you add your water in, it is going to fizz up, and that's okay. It's just the reaction that the baking soda will have with water. I think I'm just going to take my time and mix this in as good as I can before I introduce any more water to it, because I'm really just thinking maybe the water was the problem. Because what happened is that when I filled these up, they expanded, which I expected. And so after a couple minutes, I used a spatula and I pressed these back down, and they just kept expanding and expanding. And the longer that I left them, the more they expanded. So much so that I ended up putting it in the freezer because I didn't know what else to do. I couldn't get it to stop. And I put it in the freezer, and then that stopped it. And then as soon as I took it back out, it started expanding again. And I was like, you know what, forget it. I'll try a different recipe again and see if that works. So I am just going to get this all mixed up in here and see if I can get it to the consistency that it should be. So, and it should like hold firm together when it has enough water. So I'm just going to mix it and keep going and see if I can get it to the correct consistency without adding any more water to it. Okay, I've done a ton of mixing, and now you can see how it kind of will hold its shape now. So I really think I just didn't do enough mixing yesterday before I started introducing more water to it. I think by the time I was done, I had probably 2 teaspoons of water, and it was just too much. So what I'm going to do now is just take a spatula, and I'm going to fill it into these silicone molds. And also, I think the other thing I learned from doing this yesterday is that I'm not going to fill them all the way to the top, because I do expect these to still rise. So I think if I give it a little bit of room, it will actually work a little bit better. So I'm going to get a bunch in here. See how this is all formed together? It's almost like a snowball. So I'm going to leave a little bit of room on the top just for the growth that will inevitably happen. I already feel like this is going, fingers crossed, I feel like this is going to work much better than last time. And if not, I guess I do have another recipe for a toilet cleaner that you just, it's a liquid that you mix up and put into a spray bottle, which, this isn't going to scrub your toilet. This isn't going to give it the deep clean that it needs. But, in between cleanings, if you need a little bit of a refreshen, I think this is a good thing to have. Plus, it's kind of fun to make. I don't know, maybe I'm just weird. I think stuff like this is fun. But so I'm just going to use my hands this time. Last time I used this spatula. I think I can probably press it down better with my hands. So I'm just going to keep pressing. I'm going to add a little bit more and see how we do this time. And I might actually, I don't know, depending on how full I fill them, I might actually have more. See, last time it didn't call for so much baking soda, but I didn't even fill all of these when I made them last time. But you couldn't tell because by the time they were completely overflowed, this whole tray was overflowed and all over the counter and everything. So the spot where I had these sitting, that part of the counter, very clean. All right, I think what I'm going to do is save the rest of what I have in here right now. I'm just gonna see how this goes. I'm gonna press it down again real hard, see how it goes once I set it aside for a few minutes. And then if it doesn't rise too much, I will add the rest of this to it. I just don't want it to be, I don't want it to be an epic fail like it was last night. But that's the benefit of me doing this, is that I get to try it out first and see if it actually works. And then you have the benefit of knowing what works and what doesn't work. So I'm gonna set this aside and then we can move on to our next DIY cleaner. The next cleaner I want to make is a window and glass cleaner. And this literally could not get any easier. It's white vinegar, distilled water, and a spray bottle. So I went to Walmart the other day and I got a bunch of these 32-ounce spray bottles. If you're gonna be using natural products, I would recommend buying something new, not something that has had another chemical in it before. But I went and I got these, and then I started labeling them with the cleaners that I was going to make. And I did not realize while I was doing this, I labeled one as window, and then literally the next one after that, I labeled as glass. And then when I went to go look at them all to see which ones I had, I'm like, wait a minute, why did I label one window and one glass? It's literally the same thing. My brain didn't even register that I had done that until after, and I felt really stupid. So I already have some that I made in here. I'm just gonna add more to it. One of the things I want to do now that fall is approaching is clean the windows in our house, which some of them have not been cleaned since we moved in, and they're really dirty. And the problem that I always have is with streaking. So you can add a couple of variants into this recipe if you're not satisfied with the amount of cleanliness that you're getting, or if you have streakage or whatever. You can add rubbing alcohol. I cannot find rubbing alcohol to save my life. I've checked several stores. Nobody has rubbing alcohol. And I checked because I'm like, well, is rubbing alcohol the same thing as isopropyl alcohol? And it's not. I don't know, I'm gonna have to buy it online because I wanted that for another cleaner that I had. So if you're looking for less streaks and for the solution to dry a little bit quicker, you can add rubbing alcohol. I've also heard a lot of people add like just a squirt of dish soap into their glass cleaner. So all I did is I took my measuring cup and I put in 1 cup of, I don't have distilled water, I have purified water. I don't know if it's the same thing, but the reason that you would want to use a distilled water instead of regular tap water is if you have hard water and it's going to leave watermarks, that's not conducive to having a clean window. So you're going to want to use a distilled water, which I have purified, so that's what I used. A cup of vinegar, and now I am just throwing it into a funnel with my spray bottle. And that's literally it. I don't know what ingredients are in the blue glass cleaner, but I imagine they aren't that, well, one, I imagine that you cannot I imagine you cannot pronounce what they are, and I imagine that they're not that great for you. I'm not knocking that at all. If that works for you and that's what you want to do, that's great. This is just something that I really want to do to make my environment more healthy and more environmentally friendly. So here we go. Literally took 2 seconds to put this together. Couldn't be easier. So I have a window / glass cleaner all set to go. Easy peasy. All right, I looked it up just because I was curious. So I do have a tiny bit of the blue cleaner. You all know what I'm talking about here. And the ingredients are water, carriers, no idea what those are. Cleaning agents, which ones? No idea, it doesn't say. A wetting agent. Isn't that water? I have no idea. Fragrance and dye. The fragrance and the dye, I guarantee you, are the things that are most harmful to you. Anyways, that's not the point. But I do, while I was making that, I'm going to show you our bath bombs. No, I told you, our toilet bombs they're looking really good. So they have completely kept their shape. They haven't risen at all, and I can definitely tell that Once they sit for several hours, which is what you're supposed to do with these, that they're going to completely hold their shape and do exactly what they're supposed to do. So I guess it'll be interesting to see if, was it me, or was it the recipe? Did the recipe that I used, was it just a bad recipe? Or what I'm thinking more is that it was me. I was the problem. I was overzealous with adding my water, and it was just too much. I really think that was the problem. So I guess once these work and I use them all up, I'm gonna try the other recipe again just to see what happens. So the last cleaner that I wanna make today is going to be an all-purpose cleaner. I originally planned on making an all-purpose cleaner with vinegar, but a word of caution, if you have any sort of granite or marble or natural stone in your home, you do not want to use vinegar on the surface of that. It's going to pit it, it's going to discolor it, it's going to harm it, which sucks because I have a ton of granite at our house. Like, literally at this point, we have so much granite outside of our house that we could probably start a granite showroom. So I had to search for alternatives, and one alternative that I found instead of using vinegar was rubbing alcohol. Well, I can't find rubbing alcohol anywhere, and another one was vodka. Well, I am a sober person and vodka is not entering my home. So this is the alternative that I found, and it's a really simple recipe. It's literally just water, a citrus essential oil, which I think I'm actually going to use orange, which I have to look and see how much I have, and then a liquid castile soap. I meant to ask my mom today, and I don't know. Is it castile or is it castile? I don't know. I think we have a town somewhere near us in this state that is either castile or castile, and that's why I'm getting confused, because it's like Avon and Avon, because like Avon Lady and like the town of Avon, which we also have near us. So I'm just confused. I don't know. Anyways, it's only 3 ingredients. I'm just going to check real quick to see if I have any orange essential oils. All right, so I checked and I do have orange oils. So I'm going to use that. It's going to smell really good and fresh and clean. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just adding my purified water. I would add distilled if I had it, but I'm just adding my purified water to a measuring cup, and then I'm taking my castile tomato soap. It's 3/4 of a tablespoon. So I don't have a 3/4 measure, so I'm just using my tablespoon and eyeballing it. So I'm adding that right into my water. I'm just gonna mix it up quick. And then I'm going to add 10 to 15 drops of my essential oils. So those are going to go right in. Maybe. There we go. Why is it having such a hard time coming out? I know there's some in there. Hold please. I could not for the life of me get that orange essential oil out of here. I can see it. It's in there. I don't know what the problem is. I got like 3 drops out, and so I ended up just using a lemon too. So I am just throwing this in here in my bottle with my funnel, and there you go. You have an all-purpose cleaner. I labeled it AP for all-purpose, and now I have something that I can use on my countertops that is not going to hurt it. You can use this in the shower. You can use this on the floor. You can use it wherever you need to. So this is only 3 recipes, right? There are so many other things that you can use. There's different variations of them, and literally, like, you could make a toilet cleaner, a shower cleaner, and an all-purpose cleaner with basically all of the same ingredients. It's mostly you're just switching up the essential oils that you want to use, right? So those come in really handy if you have essential oils in your home. I do just want to check again behind me to see. So it looks like these are doing really well. Still haven't risen at all, so I want to add the rest of what I had to them just so they're a little bit fuller. So even in the bag, it hasn't really risen at all. So I'm just going to go ahead and add the rest of these. I went ahead and I added the rest to my silicone molds, and these are, you're going to want to let these sit for several hours so they can dry and form in the mold. So I did pop one out just so you could see, because I'm impatient and I didn't want to wait. So I popped it out. This is what it looks like. So once they have sat and hardened up a little bit, you're just going to put them right into an airtight jar. I went to the antique store today with my mom and my daughter, and I picked up a ton of old glass jars behind me. This is one of them, perfect for something like this. However, I mean, this one actually I think was free. I think he gave it to me for free because it is broken, so I'll have to be real careful with that. But I got a ton of these jars. I love old jars like this. My grandmother had a ton of them, and they make me think of her, so I picked up some of these. These will be perfect just to pop right in here, and there you go. That's all you have to do. So this was really fun and really simple and easy to do, and I really hope that you guys give it a try too, just to get rid of all of the harsh chemicals and cleaners and perfumes and dyes and things that are in the cleaners that you have in your home now. These things are going to work just as well, and you're going to have the satisfaction of knowing that you're not harming your family by using any of the other stuff that may not be so good for you. I hope you guys enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed making it today. This was really fun. If you found value in this video, please be sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on any of my upcoming videos. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.